Hi guys, and welcome back to our tutorial series. In this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to actually create the blood splat screen. Now in the last tutorial I showed you guys how to create the basics of the fall damage script. Now I recommend you go watch that first and come to this. Now in order to achieve the blood splat screen, I will be using the player's health script I made, which wasn't completed. It was just a GUI appearing on the screen saying how much health we had. Now I'm going to show you what that looked like. So when you start the game, this is all we used to see, just 100% and the GUI bar. Now I think I called my script player health script or new health system, something like that. Now just open your script. Now if you haven't created the script already, I recommend you go watch this tutorial first. It's in the description bar. Please do, then come back to this one. Alright, now in this we only had the texture, the health, and the positioning of the GUI, and then the GUI itself, nothing else. Now in order to create the blood splat screen, we're going to be using a new element called alpha channel for the GUIs. Now if you don't know, GUIs contain alpha channels. How do you access them? Pretty simple, I'll teach you in a bit. Now what do alpha channels do? Alpha channels give you a value of 1 and zeros. 0 meaning the lowest, 1 meaning the highest. So 0 could mean 0%, 1 could mean 100%, and whatever's in between that means 95, 75, so on and so forth. Alright, now 1 is the highest, meaning 100%, so that means all the alpha channels, meaning transparency, is visible to us. When it goes to 0%, it's no longer visible to us. That's how alpha channels work. Now that's what we're using for the GUI, and it's very important, we will need it. Now to access it, all we do is GUI.color, and it has a property called A. This is what we're going to be using, short for alpha. Now at the moment it has no value. We need to give it a 1 or a 0. 1, like I said, which is the highest. 0 is the lowest. 0 will make it disappear, just to show you. Save that, go back into Unity, and this time if we run the game, okay, wow. Just bear with me. Oh, the game was still running, I don't know. Alright. So much lag for some reason. Interesting. Alright, it stopped. Right. This time when you stop, you'll see the GUI disappears because its opacity is no longer visible to us. But if I go back in here and replace that with a 1, watch what happens. %. Now you probably think to yourself, alright, that works, but what if we got something like 0.25? What would happen then? I'm just about to show you. I'm just going to remove the 1 for now, leave it as equal and close it. And over here I'm going to put var alpha, and it's going to be type float, and it's going to be equals to 0 for now. Now let's put it 1 and save that. Now in the update, before we do anything, I just want to quickly do this. I'm going to say if open bracket, close bracket, open curly brace, close curly brace. Copy that one more time, go down here and paste that in there. I'm going to say if alpha is less than 0, then alpha equals 0. And in this one you can guess if alpha is greater than 1, then alpha is going to be equals to 1. Alright, that's just to keep the values within 1 and 0. So, let's see what happens. Nope, unexpected token somewhere. That closes that. Oh, sorry, yeah. Over here, just put alpha. Alright, now let me show you what happens. Now, there is alpha right there. It's got 1 at the moment. So when the game starts, it's completely viewable to us. So if I go over 1, you can't. Okay, you can't. If I go less than 0, you can't. Now if you see, if it's 0.57, it slowly becomes visible to us. Let me show you. Let me face something else. There you go. Alright. Now, let's try something. 0.01. Sorry, 0.1. You start to see it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 25. Actually, let's do it in 25. You don't, because 9 is like to 10, which is 100% again. And all we do is just place that with a 1, and it's there. So 0.50 starts to become visible. 85, 99, and then 1, which is 400. So as you can see, the inner values work as well. Okay. Go back into the script. Now that we got that sorted, before we actually start throwing the blood splat screen, we actually need a new function. Function called timer wait. Oops. Open bracket, close bracket, closing bracket, closing bracket, open bracket. Ah, lost my own word. Hold on. Open bracket, closing bracket, opening curly brace, and closing one. There we go. And inside this, all we're gonna say is yield. Wait 4 seconds. Open bracket, close that. And inside here, I'm gonna put seconds, short for sec. Okay, I'm gonna make a variable just for that as well. So var sec. So we type integer. It's not gonna be a float. It's gonna be equals to 3 seconds, because that's how long the blood screen's gonna stay there for. Right, save that. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Now what I need to do is start actually creating the variables that we need the most. First one I'm gonna create is called var alpha on. Yeah, sorry, I'll leave it as that. That'll be for the blood screen. I'm gonna say it's gonna be equals to, sorry, it's gonna be a type boolean. It's gonna be equals to false. No, true, sorry. I also need var active that. Active is going to be a type boolean as well. I'll explain what these do in a bit. Just give me a second. It's going to be equals to false. For timer count, it's going to be a type float. Going to be equals to 0. The last one we need is, no, got him there, because the other one was seconds, but I did that already. Right, let's save this. Now, before I do start explaining these variables, I would rather just create the whole blood splat function, sorry, GUI, then I'll explain how it all works. So the first thing I do, I'm going to test it with a condition. So I'm going to say if open bracket, close bracket, open curly brace, close curly brace, and this closing curly brace is going to go down here. Now the reason to that is pretty simple. That's because whatever's in this if statement is going to be part of this GUI. Okay. And also, before we do continue, let me just quickly mention one thing. Copy GUI.color.a and put that back as 1. Because what happens is, once the GUI sets itself as 0 and 1 or whatever, it's going to remain as 1 or 0. And say for example, if this was 0, and we copied this and pasted it underneath, without having this on top of it, it will make sure we can't see it. So now that I put a 1 back, I'm saying after this if statement, make sure everything's visible. Okay, now for our condition. We're going to say if active equals true and timer count is equals to 0, then we want something to happen. And what do we want to happen? We want the GUI to start appearing. So let's do that next. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to say if alpha on is equals true already, and then somehow we activate the activate boolean, we want a timer to set off. So basically at the moment alpha channel is set to 0, so we won't be able to see the blood splat, and we're going to tell something to add it on so we can see it. Okay, it may sound confusing, but when it's finished it makes more sense, trust me. If open bracket, open curly brace, and close curly brace down here, and in here I'm going to say if alpha on, as a capital N as well, is equals to true, as well as active equals true. Then what do I want to do? Then basically I want the alpha's property value, to add itself so we can view it. So I'm going to say alpha plus equals time dot delta time. I'm going to divide that by 0.5. Sorry, 0.05. Although it's going to add it up too fast. Alright, I'm just going to save this, go back into Unity, make sure I got no errors first. So far it seems to be alright. Well, there is something there. Oh, I can't use active, I'm such an idiot. Active blood, let's just call it active blood. Unity has something called active already, that's why. Active blood. Active blood. Where else was it? Active blood. Where was it? That's about it, I think. Pretty sure it was. Just 2 of those lines. Yes, it is. Right. Let's go down here. And let's quickly test something. So, alpha on is true. Alpha's value is currently 1. But when I put active blood on, I want to see what happens. Excellent. It starts to add it on. Just what I need. But you may notice something. It's going 2, 1, 3. It doesn't go 1 and stop. That's what we're going to sort out next. Maybe are you thinking that's an update, it should fix itself. Well, it's quite strange the way it works. Just trust me on this one. Let me just set to 0, sorry. Okay. Right. So that's that sorted for now. But in order to solve that issue, let's do something.